Hi, thank you for watching this video. My name is Jacob Edwards and I'm a student at Midland College. To start, I want to thank the Midland College Board of Trustees, Dr. Thomas, Dr. Kennedy, Rebecca Bell, Stacy Hewitt, and all the others who gave me a chance to share a few of my thoughts. I also want to thank all the administrators, faculty, and employees who continue to work on the behalf of students at Midland College. No one could have predicted the challenges you all have faced during our rapid transition to a completely online environment. From all of us students, thank you for working so hard for us, both during this and all of our previous semesters. On a personal note, I want to take a moment to thank all the people without whom I would not be who I am today. First and foremost, Dr. Gilmore. Dr. Gilmore, you continue to inspire me every day as a shining example of student leadership. To Luz, thank you for being patient with me during the hard times and celebrating with me during the good. To Mr. and Mrs. Wheeler, thank you for making my incredible experiences at Midland College a reality. I have never met two people who imitate Christ's example so well. Finally, Professor Mertens, thank you for opening up the world of scientific research to me. I regret that our time together was so short, but it is a memory I will never forget. Throughout the years, each of us wrote volumes of essays, listened to months of lectures, and took countless exams. The time and effort you put in to reach this goal is immense, and I hope each and every one of you have a chance to celebrate and appreciate what you have accomplished. I also hope that we all have a chance to thank those without whom our success would not have been possible. Again, congratulations for achieving this milestone. However, I also think it's important to acknowledge that our graduation is not what we expected. Whether or not the ceremony itself mattered to you, graduation was a moment to celebrate you. Now, in the light of an unprecedented crisis, this moment has passed away, unfulfilled. However, the loss of this moment may seem insignificant in the face of everything else that has also been lost. We have lost jobs and financial security. We have lost communities and connections. Some of us may have lost loved ones. Despite all this, I hope each of you will allow me the space to express a lesson I have learned in the past few weeks. However, I will have to ask you to let me share a personal story with you first. Undoubtedly, like many of you, my family has strong traditions which surround the holidays. My family's version of fruitcake is spinach madeleine, which is this weird, creamy, spicy spinach casserole that my grandmother always makes that all of us have to eat, or whether we want to or not. Another holiday tradition my family has is cheesecake. Every holiday, we make cheesecake using a secret family recipe that we are not allowed to share. The most important family tradition we have, however, is that we always celebrate the holidays together. We have this core group of aunts, uncles, and cousins that we share almost all of our holiday memories with. After this past Thanksgiving, two of those cousins, Megan and Wesley, were traveling home when they were involved in a car accident. They were clipped by another vehicle and sent to oncoming traffic. Both of them died instantly. Megan was set to graduate from Texas A&M this spring and was engaged to be married. Wesley had just begun his college career in the business honors program of the same university. The grief our families felt after this tragedy is indescribable. For me, giving Wesley's eulogy was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. After the holidays, I threw myself into my coursework, extracurriculars, and employment in an effort to distract myself. However, with the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic, all of those things started to slip away. And it's a lonely feeling to lose the things by which you define yourself. And it was in the process of trying to reckon with who I was without those activities and communities that I stumbled onto what I wish to share with you all today. Loneliness, even before the current crisis, was a pandemic in and of itself. In an episode entitled A Social Prescription by NPR's podcast Hidden Brain, former U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy describes his experiences with loneliness, stating that loneliness shortens the lifespan as much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Even without considering how loneliness contributes to anxiety, depression, and suicide, its effects are already devastating. In a world where many of us are denied many of the basic, everyday interactions we are accustomed to, this becomes particularly relevant. which is why today I'm going to share with you former Surgeon General Murphy's prescription on how to treat loneliness. And it begins with something, ironically, many of us have in ample quantities currently: time alone. The first part of the prescription is to reconnect with ourselves. Dr. Murphy says that understanding ourselves and recognizing our own intrinsic value is a crucial foundation we need in order to build connections to others. The second part of the prescription is to find some way to be of service to those around you. Service, Dr. Murphy says, is a powerful antidote to loneliness. So here's what I challenge those of you who are listening to do. Follow your prescription. In a world devoid of many everyday distractions, take a moment to become reacquainted with yourself minus the sports teams, class projects, and part-time jobs. Acknowledge what you have lost and celebrate that what you still have. Afterwards, step outside of yourself and look to your larger community. Whether it is a phone call to an old friend to check up on them or making a run to the grocery store, do something to bring a little joy or gratitude to someone else. I am certain each of us can think of someone who is an example of what it means to create joy in others. For me, those persons were Leslie and Megan. Maybe if each of us do this, we can, little by little, cure an illness which so many of us suffer from. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing what the future holds.